everyone, welcome to my channel, Orderly Living Today. My name is Amanda Garcia, and today I'm going to talk to you about getting ready for a business trip. So I leave Monday on a business trip. I travel somewhat frequently for work. I do have children. My daughter is 13 and my son is 5. And so when I travel, that means my husband is in charge of everything. And he is busy himself. He works full time. He goes to school full time. He volunteers once a week. He's a dad. He's pretty amazing. So in order to support him and make sure that I'm doing everything I can to help him while I'm gone, there's some things that I do before my trip to make sure that I'm preparing and making things as easy as possible for him. There's also things that I do that act like traveling tips and things like that I've learned over the past couple of years of travel that I'd love to share with you. So let's get started. So the first thing we do is when I find out I have a trip, I check with my husband, we double check our schedules, and we coordinate to make sure that either my husband can pick up our kids or that we reach out and find someone else to take care of our kids while he's at work. So because we split childcare responsibilities and home responsibilities really well when I'm here, it's a huge disruption for him when I'm not, because he usually drops off our kids, I usually pick them up, and now he's responsible for both and has to work in the middle of that. So this particular time, he's not able to pick them up, so we've reached out. We have a great network of family and friends, and a dear friend of mine is picking up our kids, so that is wonderful. I also just double check any appointments that I've scheduled for myself or for the kids, or if I've had like play dates that I've set up for them, that I reschedule those, because I never want to give my husband a list of additional responsibilities that he wasn't counting on. So I try to make sure that anything that I've scheduled that I intended to take our kids to, or that I intended to take myself to, that I reschedule before I leave. The next thing I do is prep our house. So again, my husband's super busy, has a lot going on, and then I'm gone and he's doing everything. So I try to make sure that before I leave, the bathrooms are really clean, everything gets dusted, and the floors get mopped. This way he doesn't have to worry about those big cleaning items, and he can just make sure that things stay tidy throughout the house. I also try to make sure that my kids' laundry is done before I leave. So my daughter, she's old enough to do her own laundry, so she usually takes care of that. I try to remind her before I leave. But my son, he can't quite reach the washing machine yet, so his laundry is on me and my husband. So I try to take care of that before I go as well, and just make sure that the kids won't run out of clothes or underwear or anything that they need while I'm gone. Or as soon as I get back. I never want to get back and realize that they've been fine, but because I didn't do laundry before I left, or my husband didn't do laundry before I left, that suddenly I'm back, I'm jet lagged, I'm tired, I just want to see my kids and spend time with my kids and my husband, and there's so much to do. So I try to make sure that that's all taken care of beforehand. I also double check our food situation. So my husband takes care of their dinners and everything, of course, while I'm gone, but I do want to make sure always that my son and my daughter both have lunches. So they both pack a lunch, and they both have individual things that they like to eat. So I try to do my best to make sure they both have everything that they like on hand, so that packing lunches in the morning is super simple. I also want to make sure that there's things like juice boxes and granola bars and like the super easy, relatively healthy snacks available, so they can throw them in a lunchbox and be done with it. And that there's also some things on hand, so if my husband is having, my cat's bathing herself here. If my husband's having, a crazy day and doesn't have time to pick up dinner or make dinner, that there's things like frozen pizzas in the freezer, so that's taken care of as well. The next thing I want to talk to you about is how I actually get ready. So I've got our house ready, I've got our kids ready. I have every confidence my husband's going to do a great job with the home and kids while I'm gone, and now I have to take care of my trip. So the first tip that I have, if you do not have TSA PreCheck and you travel at all, it is totally worth it. It's $85 for 5 years, and you apply online. You go into a local office and you bring ID and you do fingerprinting. They run a background check. And then for the next 5 years, you don't have to wait in line. It is the best thing ever, especially if you travel a lot and you don't want to get to the airport super early every time. Or if you're coming from, meetings or the office and are trying to get back home, you don't want to end up missing your flight because you were stuck in a really long line. So get TSA pre-check. It will save you so much time. You don't have to take off your shoes. You don't have to take out your laptop. I usually just leave my laptop in my suitcase because I don't have to take it out. So much easier. You don't have to take off your coat. You just walk through. It's amazing. So definitely get pre-check. I also highly recommend getting, I'm gonna move you. My cat does not want to move. Get a quality suitcase. So I actually, when I first started traveling, I went through a couple of suitcases because I was getting cheaper ones and they weren't made super well. So after, I think I had 2 break on me, I finally wised up and got a decent suitcase. And I got one that, I'll show you, it's an Isaac brand. And the front, it's super cute. It has girls shopping and the Eiffel Tower. And I love this suitcase. It's super easy to navigate. It has the 4 wheels on the bottom. It's really lightweight, but more than that, it's easy to identify because no one has the cutesy suitcase. Everyone goes with black luggage or gray luggage or navy luggage. So if I ever am forced to check my bag, which does happen occasionally, what I can do is have a really easy time picking it up because I know exactly what it looks like and it's so different than everyone else's. So definitely invest in a quality suitcase and make sure it has wheels, make sure that it's lightweight, and make sure that it looks different than everyone else's. It should be cute. Let it reflect who you are. It's wonderful. The other thing I do is, so if you look at my bag, I have things that live inside my suitcase that I never take out. So because I travel quite a bit, I don't want to be running around the night before I leave for a trip trying to find, where did I put the travel toothpaste, or do I have an extra toothbrush, or where's my hairbrush? I want all of that taken care of. So there are several things that live in my bag, and I'm going to show you what lives in my bag. So I have a laundry basket, bag. This lives in my bag. It just helps me when I get to where I'm going to stay organized and not mix up my clean and dirty clothes. I have this pouch right here. This has all of my electronic type things. So it has extra earbuds. It has my laptop, an extra laptop charger, a wireless mouse, some pens. My work badge stays in here. And then I also have a candle and a lighter. So lighters you can have in your carry-on luggage. If you have to check though, you want to grab the lighter and take it with you. But this is just really nice if you're in a hotel room. It can be very sterile and it just makes it feel more homey. So there's that. I also have my makeup. So I never want to use cheap makeup when I'm traveling because usually when I'm traveling, that's when I'm meeting with executives or trying to make a good impression, or for whatever reason, you don't want to look a hot mess when you're traveling. Plus, I'm usually jet lagged and haven't slept well, which makes needing really good makeup even that much more important. So invest in quality makeup for traveling. It took a while because makeup is very expensive, but I duplicated all of my makeup, at least the major pieces. I do use the smaller, more travel size makeup, not just for traveling, but at home too, because I don't like having giant things of makeup. I'd rather run out faster, so I replace it faster. I think it's more hygienic. So, but I have all of my makeup right here. I have my brushes, so these are just Sephora travel brushes. So my brushes are here, but I also have a couple of perfume options in travel sizes in my eyeliner right here. It smells so good. So that's my makeup. I have my toiletry bag. I do look through this periodically just to make sure that everything is full and I don't need to refresh anything. Like today I had to add some additional Q-tips in my Q-tip container. But for the most part, I just leave it and it lives in my bag. In addition to like your standard toothpaste, toothbrush, all of that, I do have this extra toiletry bag, and it has wrinkle releaser, static guard, a Tide pen, a lint roller, and then also the Febreze. So the Febreze, especially because you stick shoes in your suitcase, occasionally things can just smell a little bit weird when you ride for whatever reason. So the Febreze is really nice. You can just spray it and open everything up, and everything smells nice and fresh for work the next day. So the other thing I really love in my toiletry bag is this cute little razor. Let me tell you, this thing is a lifesaver. So if you've ever reached into your toiletry bag and the little flimsy plastic head of the razor has fallen off and you cut yourself, this will totally resolve that. It's super cute, but it's very practical. It's got a full-size like razor blade cartridge on it, and then a little tiny razor body, I guess, and then a case. So the case snaps closed, is very compact, easy to take with you. It has the holes, I don't know if you can see the holes, but it's got holes in the back so that if your razor was wet when you put it in, it'll drain and not rust. So this has been a lifesaver. I just got one for my daughter for our family trip as well. Love this thing. Also living in my suitcase is my flat iron, curling iron. So it works for both. And I did duplicate, that was another, bigger purchase, but I did duplicate that to make sure I have one at home and one in my bag. And then my jewelry case. So I do, take the jewelry out, but the case itself lives in my bag, and then I refill it when I travel to make sure I have whatever jewelry that I want to take with me on my trip. So those are the things that live in my bag. My undergarments, I always pack in this bag. It holds about a week's worth of underclothes, socks, that type of thing. It just keeps it really nice and organized and keeps it from getting lost. And then my suitcase, I saw this on another YouTube blog, and I just loved it. It's packing everything the KonMari method. So you use the KonMari method to fold everything, and then you pack everything standing up so you can see everything at a glance. All of your clothes, pajamas, workout clothes, everything is right there and available to you. And it makes it really easy to unpack and to find everything. And also, I feel like you can fit so much more. So that is how I prepare for my business trip. Now I'm all set and ready to go on Monday. We do have a family trip coming up, so I will let you know how I prep for family trips in our next video. Thank you guys so much. If you have any additional tips on packing for business trips or getting ready for business trips, definitely let me know in the comments below. Thanks everyone. Bye.